All right, y'all, we are back with another video and say it ain't so. At this point, I can't see how Nancy Pelosi ain't arrested already. This woman has been lying from the jump. All she's been doing is just telling all of these stories on Donald Trump, and we are all sick of it. Why isn't Nancy Pelosi in the courtroom? Why? Because all their attention is on Donald Trump and trying to take Donald Trump down. This woman lied about the J6 situation. They've been lying about that for the longest. When we obviously seen people peacefully walking through the building. No problems at all. But yet they still want to sit up here and lie. And Nancy Pelosi is one of the ones that is constantly lying. That's all she's been doing. She had her daughter come up in the building. They taking pictures, all type of stuff. So I just don't see reason why this woman ain't locked up for the stuff that she didn't did. This is just crazy to me. Now this one come from Liberal High Mind, but he said this video clip just ruined Nancy Pelosi's day. And I can't wait to see it. Like I said, make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to everybody showing so much support. Everybody been leaving positive comments in the comment section. I also want to thank everybody that clicked on this video for the very first time. And shout out to the one that always watches their entire video, because when you do that, YouTube will share it so more people can see my reaction. And that right there is where it helped the channel grow. All right. And please hit that like button for me. Without further ado, let's dive straight into this. And let's see exactly what clip done ruined Nancy Pelosi's day. And if y'all agree with me about this woman should have been arrested, like I said, let me know down below in the comment section. Because the stuff that this woman is constantly being able to get away with is crazy to me. But they want to keep focusing on Donald Trump. But let's go.
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind. We've got a left-wing narrative to absolutely demolish today. Let's start off with two words. Inconvenient truth. A truth that is inconvenient to a particular group of people. Well, here's an inconvenient truth. To the Democrat Party and the establishment leftist fake news media, there was no insurrection, and Donald Trump never incited violence on January 6th. Ooh, I know, controversial statement. And obviously I'm being sarcastic. It's not controversial at all, or at least it shouldn't be, because it's blatantly obvious. And of course, the more information that drops, the more video evidence that we gain access to, the more that very inconvenient truth, well, I guess, remains true. Folks, we got another flashback J6 video bouncing all over Twitter to the tune of millions of views. You know, I know Jack Smith is hell-bent on getting Donald Trump over the whole January 6th thing, but we really don't need a DC January 6th trial. It's completely unnecessary. All that's really required is a personal computer and access to the internet, and I guess the ability to type keywords. Take 2 seconds to do your own research, and Jack Smith's case falls apart. Let me show you guys exactly what I mean by that. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, friends, so here's the clip that Nancy Pelosi's little January 6th commission never wanted you to know existed.
Respect our landmarks! Respect the Capitol! He said he saw on his Twitter account, Donald Trump.
We're gonna pull up the tweet. Donald Trump has asked everybody to go home. We're staying! Okay, then stay. I don't give a shit. This is America. You guys want to stay? That's fine. Donald Trump has asked everybody to go home.
Yeah, hold on, wait. Read this. Hold on. Yeah, read this. Read it.
Donald Trump, quote, I am asking for everyone in the U.S. Capitol to remain peaceful, no violence. Remember, we are the party of law and order. Respect our law enforcement, men and women in blue.
So that's before entry was made into the Capitol. That's Jacob Chanley, a man who was sentenced to a federal prison sentence over his supposed involvement in a violent overthrow of the U.S. government. He is literally telling people to not go into the Capitol, to remain peaceful. And those aren't his own words. No, he's quoting the president, Donald Trump. How can you possibly be guilty of insurrection or fomenting a violent overthrow of the government when you're literally on record telling people to go home, and there's video evidence of people on the ground that day having received that message and telling people to go home and turn around and not commit violent acts. I don't get how it's even an argument. Leftoids go, well, how could you possibly defend Donald Trump? He tried to overthrow the government. What are you missing? How many times do we have to play this clip?
I know your pain. I know you're hurt. But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. We have to respect our great people in law and order. We don't want anybody hurt. It's a very tough period of time.
Not to mention, back on January 6, 2021, Twitter put a warning label on that video. This claim of shenanigans is disputed, and this tweet can't be replied to, retweeted, or liked due to risk of violence.
Wow.
Risk of violence?
Wow.
Could you imagine rewriting history in real time when the President of the United States is telling people to go home and to be peaceful, and you decide to reframe that as a call to violence or risk of violence? Jack Smith should have no case. The fact that he got a grand jury to indict the former president to begin with just goes to show how easily corrupted the justice system can become when you introduce vendettas and political biases. There is absolutely no argument to be made whatsoever. Yet Democrats will continue to make the most nonsense, out of this world, outlandish arguments. For instance, what's going on right now as they attempt to remove Donald Trump from ballots, the arguments the top Democrats are making are completely detached from reality, the facts. It's essentially incoherent nonsense.
How quickly do you think that the Supreme Court will weigh in on this, if they will at all? You assume that they will, right?
Yeah. Under constitutional federalism, every state is ultimately going to control its own ballot access and access to candidates for the ballot. And that is obviously difficult when we're talking about electing the president, who is the one official we've got in America who's supposed to represent the entire country, represent everybody. And so I think that the urgency is for the Supreme Court to act. But I think it's going to be tough for some of them if they want to keep Trump on the ballot, if they're falling for the argument that this is undemocratic. Is it undemocratic that Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jennifer Granholm can't run for president because they weren't born in the country? If you think about it, of all the forms of disqualification we have, the one that disqualifies people for engaging in insurrection is the most democratic, because it's the one where people choose themselves to be disqualified. In terms of your age or where you were born, that's not up to you. But Donald Trump is in that tiny, tiny number of people who've essentially disqualified themselves.
To be a Democrat representative, and not just any Democrat representative, but part of the top brass of the Democrat Party, this is Nancy Pelosi's freaking henchman, to be that guy and to say something so inexcusably unconstitutional, there's simply no justification for it. Donald Trump.
Exactly. This stuff right here has just been a lie, but you know what? I bet you Nancy Pelosi didn't want that clip right there out there. Donald Trump was literally asking them to go home, don't cause no insurrection or anything. And then he said that guy got prison time for that. And all he was doing was just reading out the tweet that Donald Trump posted, that to telling people to go home, don't cause no violence, but they won't show that. Nancy Pelosi won't show that. That's what I'm saying. They are just lying. Trying to remove this man off ballots is that's the reason why I went off on Sheena Bellows from Maine, the Secretary of State from Maine, for trying to kick Donald Trump off the ballot because she feel like he caused an insurrection, just because she feel like it. But Trump has not been charged or convicted with insurrection, anything. But yet you're kicking him off the ballot just because you don't like him. Obviously you don't. You're in a picture with Joe Biden smiling. You're in a picture with Barack Obama smiling. So obviously we know whose side you on. We know you don't like Donald Trump. You did it because I don't know if somebody put a battery in Sheena Bellows' back, or did Colorado call over there and tell her? Because obviously they tried to get California, but Gavin Newsom didn't go for it. Now y'all know we don't agree with Gavin Newsom, but only thing I like that Gavin Newsom did, that he said that he wasn't going to kick Donald Trump off the ballot. I like that he said that. He said, if Trump lose or whatever the case may be, if he wins, it's going to be fair and square. But he's not going to kick him off the ballot. That's the only thing about Gavin Newsom that I like that he said. But you got this woman, Sheena Bellows from Maine, that kicked Donald Trump off the ballot and then goes straight on CNN talking about it. How you going to try to kick this man off the ballot over something he ain't been convicted of or charged of yet. Like, he ain't been convicted or charged for insurrection, so why is you kicking him off the ballot? Either somebody told you or you just don't like him, and you did it for your own personal reasons. This is ridiculous. That's the reason why I say I'm going to continue to call out this crap right here. And that just go to show you that people was peacefully walking through them hallways. And obviously you can see Trump telling people don't cause no harm. Even his Twitter tweet got struck. Got a warning on his tweet. And all he was saying was not to be violent. Don't do this. Don't do that. Look at that. And then his tweet got flagged. So good thing Elon Musk took over Twitter now, and it's called X, because you got free speech over there. And then even in that clip, Trump didn't even say nothing wrong. He was just telling people what not to do. Don't cause violence. Don't do this. But you know, CNN ain't going to show that. They like to fit their own narratives in and flip the story and turn it around and make it like something else. You know, they all got to fit their narrative in to make Donald Trump look bad. That's what they try to do all the time. Look at this crap Jack Smith is trying to do. Don't want Trump to have immunity. I mean, all of these people are corrupt. They cannot go to sleep at night. All they do is think about Donald Trump day in and day out. Donald Trump is on their mind every single day. He's always on Jack Smith, Fannie Willis, Letitia James. All these folks do is wake up every day and think about Donald Trump and how to kick him off ballots. Because they don't go by the law. They feel like they're above the law. And it's crazy.
Trump engaged in insurrection and he disqualified himself. Section 3 of Article 14 applies because we decided that he engaged in insurrection. Everybody's ignoring the fact, you know, the Democrat interpretation of the 14th Amendment is completely incorrect. You don't just go to Section 3 of Article 14 and then a Secretary of State just decide that Donald Trump is guilty of insurrection and then remove him from the ballot. There's a process for it. It's called Section 5 of the 14th Amendment, which specifically states that Congress has the sole authority to pass laws relating to insurrection, and that essentially that standard has to be met before finding somebody guilty of insurrection.
Right.
Not to mention the whole issue with whether the president is an officer of the United States. It seems as though there's legal precedent to suggest that the title officer does not apply to presidents. Then there's the element of presidential immunity. You know, the reality here is that these Democrats are talking out of their behinds. Jamie Raskin claims that being disqualified based on engaging in insurrection is the most democratic form of disqualification.
They keep on saying he was engaging in the insurrection. That's just a lie. He wasn't engaging. He wasn't telling people to go do it. He didn't say, go do this to this building. Go paint on the walls. Go kick the door down. He was telling people to get away. Don't do it. Don't cause violence. That's what Donald Trump was saying. But like he always calls CNN, fake news, people like Nancy Pelosi, all they want to do is just lie. That's the reason why everybody has been calling for Nancy Pelosi to be arrested. We don't know why she ain't in the courtrooms and stuff like they got Donald Trump day in and day out. The man can't even campaign because he's always in a courtroom over some dumb stuff from people who think they above the law. These people think they're above the law, like they call the rules. They don't care what the law say. They don't care. They make up their own law. They think because they Dems, they make up their own laws. So trying to take him off ballots over something he ain't been charged or convicted of is just mind-blowing. It's crazy. And I can't see how they letting them get away with this stuff.
A very weird statement to make. Yeah, so democratic. Pulling your political opponent off the ballot without any due process because your little goon Democrat Secretary of State decided for the rest of the state who they can and can't vote for. I mean, how utterly ridiculous. That's what's so frustrating about all of these processes. Everything that's currently going on with all of these indictments and attempts to remove Trump from the ballot, all of these cases are built on mountains and mountains of lies. I mean, for Pete's sakes, Mrs. Shenna Bellows, Maine Secretary of State, used freaking YouTube clips as official evidence in her decision to remove Trump from the ballot. Cherry-picked nonsense videos. And of course, ironically enough, the literal most watched, most relevant clip was simply omitted. The one I showed you previously, or actually the two that I showed you previously. These cases aren't serious. These Democrats aren't serious. The question is the American electorate going to let them get away with this desecration of the American Constitution? Anyways, that's what I got for you guys.
There you go, man. That was Liberal Hive Mind. Another great video, man. Like I said, they won't show you clips like this, but you get people like Sheena Bellows to show that type of clip and say Trump caused an insurrection when obviously you can see the guy reading out that Trump saying, go home, don't do this, don't cause violence. But she used that, flipped it, and made it seem like he wanted them to do it and then kicked them off the ballot. Just like Colorado, I just still feel like Donald Trump going to be back on that ballot. Because they is not finna get away with this crap. Like I said, y'all already know me. Y'all know I'm going to call this stuff out every chance I get. Because like I said before, every time they attack Donald Trump, all they doing is just hurting themselves because it's just helping him out in the polls. Every single time. Every time you attack, he just goes up, 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 up. So if that's what y'all want to keep doing and think y'all doing something, keep it going then. Because, I mean, all this stuff is going to do is just come back and hunt all of them. That's exactly what's going to happen. But like I said, make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe. Shout out to the one that stayed to the very end. I appreciate it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.